Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be discussing about the most sought after topic, in-house legal counsel. With the advancement of technology and more companies desiring in-house legal counsels, being an in-house legal counsel is the most sought after profession for fresh and young law graduates. But most of them face the common dilemma, how to switch from litigation to in-house legal counsel, or if you are preparing for judiciary, how to switch and become in-house legal counsel, or can you become in-house legal counsel without any relevant or prior experience. So in today's video, we'll be answering all these questions and we'll be catering your part towards becoming an in-house legal counsel. So let's start with today's video. So at the outset, it's really important to know what are the relevant skill sets that are required to become in-house legal counsel. Now, majority face this kind of trouble and question as to what are the skill sets that they require, and that is why majority get rejected at the screening itself. Most of the people don't know what are the relevant skill sets that are required to become in-house legal counsel. Now, to become in-house legal counsel, few most necessary and must have skills that you need to have if you are forwarding your CV or if you are applying for a position as in-house legal counsel. Keep in mind your CV must cater and showcase that you have these skills. First is contract vetting, second is contract negotiation, third is litigation management, and the last is legal advisory. Now, these are not the composite skill set that these are the skill set that you require to become in-house legal counsel, but these are the basic skill set that you require to become in-house legal counsel. Now, let's start with the first, that is contract vetting. Now, most people tend to confuse contract vetting with contract drafting. Now, when you are drafting from scratch, you are writing the very first word in the contract itself, that is contract drafting. But when you are reviewing the clauses in an already drafted agreement, bases your organizational policies, that is contract vetting. Now, when you will be appearing for an interview as in-house legal counsel, you won't be asked questions as to draft a particular termination clause or indemnity clause or limitation of liability clause. You would be asked questions like the other side is not ready to provide you or cap your limit or cap or put a limit to your liabilities. How would you convince the other side to let you cap your liabilities? At that particular point of time, practical and relevant experience will help you justify what are the possible rebuttals that you need to give in order to convince client or the other side to let you cap your liabilities. Now, the reasoning that you will be providing that comes under contract negotiation. When we talk about negotiation, all the open pointers that you have suggested while you were reviewing and vetting the agreement and that was not agreed to the other side, both the parties get over the call and both the parties negotiate. For negotiation, you need to have apt reasonings why you have suggested a particular change. Why is it important from your organization's point of view? You need to be justifiable. So that's the skill that will help you become in-house legal counsel. Next comes litigation management. When we talk about litigation management, it is very different and it is nowhere relevant to core litigation that you have been doing and you have been learning during your law school and post law school as well. When we talk about litigation management, what you are required to do is coordinate with external counsels, let them know about the possible conflict or the situation that have arose, get legal advisory from them, provide the respective legal advisory to your respective stakeholders or to your management or to your company. Then you need to draft and revert to legal notices. Then you need to coordinate with external counsels, become AR of the company, appear as an AR of the company. These all things are involved in litigation management. Last but not the least comes legal advisory. When we talk about legal advisory, it is more or less similar to litigation management, wherein if your organization require any kind of legal advice with regards to any of the situation that have arose, they will come to you and you will be providing them with the legal advisory basis the applicable and prevailing law. Now, these are the basic skill set that are required if you want to become in-house legal counsel. Now, what's the issue that majority face? When you are coming from litigation or when you are preparing for judiciary, the first dilemma that most have is you don't have relevant experience as in-house legal counsel. Can you still become in-house legal counsel? The answer would be yes, you can become. The second question that arose is you do not have relevant skill set that are required as in-house legal counsel. Can you still become in-house legal counsel? The answer for this would be no. So the basic and minimum need and ask for becoming an in-house legal counsel is you need to have the relevant skill set. How do you acquire relevant skill set and what are the relevant skill set? There are two major relevant skill set that you need to require in order to get and start your journey as in-house legal counsel. First is contract vetting, second is contract negotiation. Now, how do you become in-house legal counsel or what is the path towards becoming in-house legal counsel? Now, the foremost path is understanding the difference between contract drafting and vetting. You do not have to draft the contract from scratch. You need to learn how to review an already drafted contract. What are the important clauses? How do you review that? How do you review that from service provider's point of view? And how do you review that from client's point of view? You need to understand both. Now, once you have reviewed, why you have reviewed that? What's the reasoning behind suggesting a particular change from both service provider's point of view as well as from client's point of view? You need to understand that and you need to learn that. That is the difference between contract drafting and vetting. And your CV should show that you have acquired the relevant skill with regards to contract vetting and not just contract drafting. Because when you will be appearing for interview as in-house legal counsel, no one would be asking you to draft an agreement. All they would be asking you is how do you review a particular clause? What is the reasoning? How would you give the reasoning and convince the other side to let you have what you want? Second thing is learning practical aspects around contract vetting and negotiation. Now, when we talk about practical aspects, what do we mean? When we talk about practical aspects, you don't need just a reasoning that you have made this change. You should be able to justify that. If the situation goes other way around, will you be able to justify? Let's take an example. You want termination for convenience, right? You are a service provider. Now, client have sent you a draft and client does not want you to have termination for convenience, right? Now what will you do? At the outset you will change the clause, you will redline it, you will review and vet it, and you will get termination for convenience right for yourself. Now what if the other side make an objection that why do you want to have termination for convenience, right? We do not want to give you any termination for convenience, right? Because you might terminate as per your convenience and we would be left without a service provider and our services would be hampered. How would you convince that? That is the practical aspect that you need to justify. If you are able to convince your interviewer that you will be having sufficient enough reasonings for having termination for convenience, right? That other party might agree. That shows that you actually have done the thing practically. You know contract vetting and negotiations practically. You have done it yourself. And that's how you are going to get in as in-house legal counsel. Now, how to begin with? As they say, first impression is the last impression. So your CV is going to present your first impression. So your CV should be tailor-made, catering to the requirements as defined under job description. Now, if you are planning to apply for any company and become in-house legal counsel, they would be sharing a job description. Read or go through that job description. Make yourself thoroughly familiar with that job description. Once you are thoroughly familiar with that job description, make sure that your CV includes all the relevant skill set that are mentioned under the job description. That's how you will get selected. Now, another question that you might have is I have only done litigation for the couple of years or 1 year, whatever it is. I have been involved in litigation. How do I become in-house legal counsel? How can I show that I have the requisite skills? So even if you are in litigation or you were preparing for judiciary, it doesn't mean that you cannot learn contracts. At the outset, learn contract vetting and negotiation, inculcate that in your CV, showcase your potential employer that you understand and you know the practicality behind contract vetting and negotiation. Once you have shown that, then your CV would be shortlisted for further rounds of interviews. However, if you have just shown that you were part of litigation and all you have done is litigation, at the outset your CV would be rejected. You will never be shortlisted for as in-house legal counsel. So all those who have a question how to become in-house legal counsel when we only have experience in litigation or we were preparing for judiciary, now we do not have relevant experience as in-house legal counsel. Your starting point would be to learn the relevant skills. If you have learned the relevant skills, then you can become in-house legal counsel. Your CV will be shortlisted and you will be able to clear the interviews. Now, how can you learn the practical aspects around contract vetting and negotiation? There are two paths towards it. First path and the difficult path is you will have to do it yourself. How you can do that? That's for another video. We'll get back with another video how you can prepare and learn contract vetting and negotiation by yourself. The second method is you can take professional help. We at Questcrest Leading India Private Limited have been guiding over 600 participants and working professionals and have helped them in their journey of becoming in-house legal counsel. Registrations are now open for September batch. You can book your slot and start learning contract vetting and negotiation and start your journey of becoming in-house legal counsel. For more details and description, you can visit www.qclilearnings.com or you can reach out to any of the mentioned numbers on your screen. So, for all those who regularly have this dilemma how to become in-house legal counsel without having sufficient experience, all you need is relevant skill set. Gather and acquire those relevant skill set today. Thank you and have a nice day. See you.